Hello everyone. Welcome to Digital Marketing Camp Podcast, your one-stop destination to explore the latest happenings, strategies, tools, techniques, and case studies in the digital marketing domain. I'm your host Prince Kumar, and we have Josh with us today to discuss on the topic how to power your SEO efforts with AI tools. Josh is an expert marketer with over 20 years of business branding, marketing, and SEO experience. He is an industry leader with encyclopedic, intimate, insider secret level knowledge of Google search algorithm with numerous personal Google contacts, SEO experiments, and thousands of pages ranking page 1. Josh has spoken on Google search and over 20 years, including TEDx talks, the future of Google search and ethics, a soon to be released documentary film on Google called Don't Be Evil Google's Secret War, and his own SEO related podcast with around 12k subscribers. That is the White Hat versus Black Hat SEO show. Hi Josh, a warm welcome on our show.
Hey Prince, it's great to be here.
So just to start with our discussion that we will be having today, we would love to know more about you and also about your corporate journey.
Sure. Well, I've been doing SEO for over 20 years, longer than Google has been around. And I've also been working in AI for the last 10 years. Google says they're an AI first company. And so I had to become an AI first SEO. And so I've been doing AI. I'm looking at AI for quite some time and trying to build next generation AI tools. For the last 5 years, I've been working in OpenAI, which is now no one knew about it 5 years ago, but now it's been built into ChatGPT. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to talk about SEO and AI and how we can help people.
Great. So how did your love for SEO started? If you can help the audience know.
Sure. Well, it kind of arose naturally. Back in the 90s, when I was a teenager, I was starting to work in IT. And my first job in IT was at the University of Winnipeg, where I was born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And I was fixing computers and setting up computer networks for the university. And so I got to know all the secretaries, all the administrative assistants, and everybody, all the professors and everybody, or most of them. It's a pretty big school, but I got to know quite a lot of people. And this thing called the web came out. This thing called the internet happened. And they said, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. And I thought, oh, okay, I better learn about this. So I went to Bev, the IT coordinator for the IT program. And I said, hey, do you have anyone teaching HTML yet? And she's like, no, I need someone to teach it. You know it? I'm like, sure, I could teach it for you. So I didn't know a thing about HTML at the time. So I bought a book. It was this thick about HTML. And I said, sure, I'll teach it for you, because the per hour pay for teachers was much, much higher than they were paying me to set up networks. At the time in the 90s, to do computer repair and set up networks for the university, they were paying me 28,000 Canadian a year. That's all they were paying me, right? Which I think they're probably making 82. I think if you reverse those numbers, I think that's probably what they're making now, right? So to teach a course was like $50 Canadian per hour. So I was like, woohoo, okay, this is great. So I signed on to teach the course, and I didn't know anything about HTML. So I bought a book, I read it, I learned it, and I taught it a couple months later. And then from there, I moved on to JavaScript. Same deal. I just signed up to teach it, and that forces me to learn it. And then cascading style sheets as well. And back in the mid 90s to late 90s, before Google was around, SEO was only filling in the meta keyword tag and putting your keywords in the meta keyword tag and filling out the meta description. That was basically all SEO was. And so I have been doing SEO for that long, but fully, hand up, fully admitting, it was just an extension of HTML at the time. There wasn't really a discipline. No one was buying links. That wasn't even a factor before Google came around with their PageRank algorithm. So there was not a lot to it. But that's how I got started.
Great, amazing. Okay, so you were mentioning that you have been into this industry for around 20 years. So definitely you have seen how SEO evolved and where it is now. So can you share your inputs on what do you think that there are the major changes that have been done during this entire transformation?
That's a great question, Prince. So, the major change, of course, has been AI. That's been the biggest change. That's been the major change. Artificial intelligence, they weren't really doing it to start off with. Artificial intelligence, they've been working on it for for a century, but they weren't really getting a lot of. They weren't getting a lot of penetration. They weren't getting a lot of. They didn't. The computer systems weren't big enough, and their algorithms weren't smart enough yet. But around 10 years ago, around the time of Panda, around 2011, actually more than 10 years ago now, almost 15 years ago, around the time of Panda, around the time of Penguin, they realized they could use machine learning to explode their algorithms, and they started looking into natural language processing AI, such as neural matching, which is a neural network deep learning AI, which they use. So I realized that things were going the way of, if you read the white papers and you read the patents, I could see things are going the way of artificial intelligence. And so artificial intelligence had definitely been the major change in SEO. And if you're not completely vested in artificial intelligence now, I don't think there is any other industry out there that is as affected by AI as SEO.
Yes, definitely.
Google is an AI first company, and we produce a lot of content, and all of the natural language processors that have come out recently, the large language models, one of the things they do or can do pretty well, although not out of the box, you have to know what you're doing, is produce content, produce keywords, analyze keywords, produce titles, produce meta descriptions, produce articles, produce headers, produce articles, produce linking, backlinking pages, produce reviews, produce and or analyze all those things, right? So that's what we're using artificial intelligence for in my underground SEO University, my private mastermind course. And that's what we're all about is artificial intelligence. And everybody out there who's listening to this, who is in SEO or not, you need to get into artificial intelligence now. You need to adopt artificial intelligence like yesterday, because the ship has taken off, right? The rocket to AI town has taken off. You better be hanging off a rope or in that rocket, because every job, not only SEO, but every job is going to be affected by AI. Some more than others, but every single job is going to be. Every piece of software is going to have an AI in it. You're going to be talking to AIs. AI is going to be talking to you. They're going to be analyzing the information, the images, the videos, collating the information, summarizing the information, adjusting the information, composing the information. AI videos, images, text, emails, tweets, web pages, SEO, dating apps, social media apps, everything is going to have already is has AI already working in it, and we'll have just more and more AI until the point where it's like, the Control F for the search feature in Windows is pretty ubiquitous across all the different Windows applications. It's Command F for the Mac, right? Um, Everyone knows that paradigm. The Control F is defined, right? Control S is save. Um, those kinds of paradigms, or in 1 or 2 years, AI will be the exact same thing. Every single application will have the same paradigm that we immediately recognize. And if a kid, if one of someone in 2 or 3 years, or a kid now who gets used to this paradigm, if they use an application from 10 years ago, they're going to be like, where's the Control F? Why isn't the AI telling me how to do this? Like, they're not even going to be able to understand how
Understanding,
we
yeah.
worked, right? It's going to be so different. So SEO is no different. AI is the complete change. And you need to adopt AI now. You need to know how to use it intelligently.
Perfectly, very rightly you have said, and that we have been observing in the recent past. Like we can see a lot of AI tools that are coming upon. Even for the social media, I have seen that if you require a kind of creatives, you can get those done through the AI tools. If you have to get the copies written upon, AI tools can provide upon. So I would definitely there's a kind of lot of things that are coming upon for all other purpose. Even I've seen AI tools that are helping in Excel sheets, a kind of filling out the details in the so definitely AI is becoming an important part of our life, a kind of for the digital marketer especially. It's that how we have to use those tools is something that is what we have to do.
yeah, it's all about how you use the tools. It's all about it's a race now. We're in a new arms race, right? Google is not going to be probably the only search engine anymore. There are going to be other search engines that get adopted. Bing has already rolled out Bing Chat. You have to know how to use Bing Chat. You have to know how to talk with these AIs. ChatGPT, of course, is the big darling on the block, the new one that people are using and talking about. And it won't have be a search engine, but it'll be a search agent. It will already browse the web for you. And I have special access to the alpha version, which I don't think other people do, but and I'm not technically supposed to say this, but I heard other people talking about it, so I guess it's okay for me to say it because I was under an NDA not to talk about it. But they're going to be a search agent. So if you ask it a question and it detects that it could do a search for you, it's going to do a search for you, pull in the information, and then ChatGPT is going to be able to talk about it, right? So you need to know how to use these tools, and definitely AI is dominating SEO moving forward. And you need to know how to use these next generation tools, and that is the complete future of SEO, is how to use these tools. And you've got to be able to recognize, okay, there's a saying in the West, like a paperclip and a Band-Aid system, where it's held together by a Band-Aid and a paperclip, and it's really not very well built. That's what the current AI systems look like. ChatGPT, don't get me wrong, is very powerful, but it's very powerful at general things. But if you just ask it to write your web page, it's going to write the worst web page ever. If you go to ChatGPT and ask it to write your paper, it's going to write a C grade paper. I know, I've marked papers for years across Canada. I've taught in universities across Canada. It's going to be the worst paper ever, right? So you don't want to just go out of these things out of the box. So you need to get the next generation AI tools. Like there's a tool I built called Keyword Spy, which is a next generation AI tool. It actually has intelligence built in, where AIs are talking to AIs. And what we do is we actually downloaded all the models of the open source versions of the actual Google artificial intelligences that they have for on-page, for example. So we check for RankBrain, we check for BERT, we check for neural matching, which are all different AIs, by the way, and are not the same as ChatGPT. They have their own entities. They have their own keywords. They're totally different. The helpful content, the EAT, the expertise, experience, authority, and trust, transformer, which I think is probably T5 or POM, and the product content transformer for anyone making product content. They could take in 32,000 tokens, which is roughly 18,000 words. And that allows them to read the whole web page and determine, is this helpful? Does it show experience? Does it show expertise? Does it show authority? Does it show trust? Does it have the product specs that we were looking for, et cetera, et cetera? So we built this Keyword Spy tool that uses all those actual Google AIs and scores actual terms and entities for you to use in your pages far better than any of the first generation AI tools like I don't mean to call anyone out, but like Jasper or like Surfer and all the other product AI content product stuff right now. They don't do a good job at all. They're just AI. There's the magic of AI in them, and therefore they're doing a good job. And that's not really the case. So this is a second generation tool where the AI is actually analyzing what you're doing, like an SEO consultant would, and giving you advice and telling you how to do things. So you've got to learn how to use AI. You've got to learn how to find the second generation AI tools, and they're going to be coming out now.
So, definitely the AI tools are dominating the SEO industry. So, what do you think in this case will be the future of SEO?
The future of SEO, again, not to sound like a broken record, but it's just going to be AI all the time, right? We're going to be using AI to generate all of our pages, check for all of our keywords, check for helpfulness, check for product content, check for EAT, check for expertise, experience, authority, and trust. You got to use AI to do all this kind of stuff, right? Quite often as SEOs, we're asked to write articles in niches we know absolutely nothing about. I know nothing about bad credit loans, but I rank all day long for bad credit loans. I know nothing about affordable lighting, but I rank all day long for affordable lighting. Why? Because I'm using my AI to analyze all these things and tell me what it is I need to do. And don't settle for tools out there that just slapped GPT into a thing and just are running with it. Yes, ChatGPT is very, very intelligent, but it's not intelligent enough just to run it on its own. You need to have another AI in there monitoring it, checking for quality, and you need to have an AI that's built like an SEO consultant. That's what we tried to do for Keyword Spy. I would highly recommend people check it out for free for 2 weeks. But then again, if you're gonna, but also talking about prompt engineering, you need to learn prompt engineering too. You need to learn how to go into ChatGPT and ask it the right questions, and go and figure out how to get it to not write just a meta description, but write a meta description for you that's going to work really well for
Work
you.
for
I
you.
mean, we're already doing that in Keyword Spy for you if you just want to use Keyword Spy. But if you don't and you want to DIY, you want to do it yourself, now you got to learn hours and hours and hours of prompt engineering. It wouldn't be a bad idea to learn hours and hours and hours of prompt engineering, because that is the way of the future. Remember my story about the 90s when HTML was the big thing and everyone was moving to it, and they were teaching it to everybody. They teach it to kids in high schools in Canada. They teach it to everybody all over the place. Prompt engineering is the new HTML. AI is the new internet, and prompt engineering is the new HTML. It's a new age, right? That was 20 plus years ago. It's 25 years ago. It's a new generation. It's a new age. This is a new thing that is going to be the way the world is going. AI is not probably going to take your job, but some smart person using a smart AI is definitely going to take your job if you are not the smart person using the smart AI. So you definitely need to get in AI now.
So, since we are talking about the AI tools, so can you help the audience understand, or if you can, mention some of the prominent AI tools that can help SEO guys optimize their work and get better
Yeah, I jumped to the lead there a bit by already talking about Keyword Spy, but I'm so excited about it I couldn't help it. Yeah, so obviously there's Keyword Spy, which does all your on-page for you. It could generate dozens of articles out of it. You could build 300 to 1,000 articles a month on this thing, completely on autopilot, but good quality content too. A lot of other tools say you could do that, but it's not good quality content. It's the kind of sites that Google is going to continue penalizing, right? That's the kind of ChatGPT. You need to master ChatGPT. You need to master Bing Chat. You need to master Google Bard. You need to learn how these things work because they're going to be integrated into search soon, right? They're going to be partially integrated into search. Google is not going to get rid of the 10 blue links. They can't do that because their entire business model is based off of it. All of their money is still made by the ads at the top of the Google search results page, or the SERPs. They can't change the SERPs. The SERPs is how they make their money, and the SERPs is how we SEOs make our money. So they're going to add, my prediction is they're going to add Google Bard when and if they bother, because it might not even really help you very much. They're going to add Google Bard either on the right side, and it's going to help you say, hey, this release, this, you're probably going to like this response here, or hey, this might be good, or they're going to put it at the top where the featured snippet goes. And you'll get a featured snippet, and you can talk with the featured snippet, so to speak, and that'll be Google Bard. And you can drill down, you can ask it more questions. The people also ask, and the featured snippet will just be collapsed into the chatbot, into Google Bard, which you can talk with, you can ask questions, and it'll say, for more information, click here or go there, that kind of a thing. Bing Chat, the way they've been implementing it, and this is really sleazy, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, they're starting to slip advertisements right into the text response that the chatbot gives you, right? It's like I asked it for the top social media apps to advertise on, and it's like Twitter is the best platform to advertise on, and it had the word ad beside it. I'm like, well, I can't trust that information now. I have no idea if this is true. I mean, LLMs already have a statistical model. They don't know what truth is. They don't know anything, right? They're not quite self-aware yet. They're very close, but they're not quite self-aware yet. They can't tell the truth from anything. And so I have a doubt as to whether ChatGPT is telling the truth. And that's why you need to use a second generation AI to write all your articles that checks for truth, because otherwise you're going to have all these falsities in your which come out of the model. You're going to have all these falsities and hallucinations in your web pages, which Google's going to detect immediately. But also for getting your answers. You can't trust the truth of these things the best of times. And then now they're going to stuff an ad in there, and I'm going to believe them that Twitter is actually the best place to advertise on when Twitter paid the most money just to show up there. Forget about it, right? Forget about it. Like we can't trust any of that. And I thought I think that, quite frankly, along the sentiment you're talking about, Prince, I think that we got to get the good information. We got to get the truthful information. And I don't think Google is going to go that route. Google will destroy their business if they go this route. Bing has nothing to lose, right? Bing has no market share already, so
Definitely.
Bing has nothing to lose. The Bing president said a few months ago, if we can cut out 1% of Google search share, it's worth $2 billion for us every 1% we take away from Google. So I'm like, okay, well, they got nothing to lose and everything to gain. But Google will lose their entire empire. The entire 20 years of the one horse race of Google dominating everything could end in the next few months if Google makes the wrong choice here. And I trust Google is smart. I've reverse engineered their AIs. I've gone toe to toe philosophically debating with multiple Google employees over the years: Matt Cutts, Paul Haar, Danny Sullivan, John Mueller. I've either in person and or online debated with these folks. Blake Lemoine, I have his email. I talk with him. I know the ex-Google employee who said that Lambda was sentient, and Google Bard is Lambda, by the way. You're all talking with that system now, by the way. Half of them don't even work for Google anymore, but that's how long I've been doing this, right? I know how smart these people are. And so I don't think they're going to make, that's why they're being very careful and rolling this out slowly. I don't think they're going to make a dumb choice there. And so you need to learn AI. You need to figure out what's going on there. And there's still going to be the 10 blue links. And I think Google Bard is going to be just kind of collapse the people also ask and the featured snippet at the top. I think even those people will still get some traffic. We're all going to still get traffic. SEO is not dead by any stretch. The SEO of yesteryear is definitely dead in terms of just writing crap content and buying links. That's dead. Dead like dinner. But the second generation AI stuff is just exploding right now, and it's a new gold rush. It's a new era, right? And so get in on the gold rush is what I say.
Uh, so the tools that you have been mentioning upon, and definitely there are many other tools. So with these tools, we have seen that the content development mainly have become super easy.
Mhm.
So, do you think that this will impact the quality content which Google always used to give preference? Like always, Google used to say that the quality of the content should be
Yep.
unique. It should be that we are helping our user to understand the things, or no, our intention should be like that. Our content intention should be like that. So, do you think with the use of these tools, this will impact somewhere where Google was preferring a kind of more helping kind of content?
Completely. So yeah, if you hear nothing else from this podcast, hear this: is that you cannot just fire up the current AI tools and let them produce content. The content is terrible. It is terrible. Google can directly detect whether you have experience or expertise, whether you have authority or trust, whether your content is helpful or of quality directly. They don't need humans to do it. They have a transformer that can read it. The AI can read it like a human and determine if that is the case. All of the current tools do not take any of this into account. And just firing up ChatGPT and getting it, please write me an article on ballet for adults, that'll be the worst article ever, right? If it ranks, it'll be a complete accident because everyone else sucks even worse. So you cannot fall for that trap. That is the latest trap. And sadly, SEO is full of traps and crap and people who traps and craps and people who don't care at all about whether you rank and they just want to grab your money and then move on to the next project. That's not me. I've been doing this for 20 years. My name is synonymous with always taking Google to task and always providing quality SEO advice. We know that you cannot just fire up these content tools that currently exist. They all suck. All of them, I'm sorry, they all suck. I know you might like to use them. The user interfaces are pretty good. Don't get me wrong. That's it. The SEO underlying it, the quality of the content that gets produced is not of the level you need to produce. It just isn't. We've tested this in underground SEO University. I've made a career out of people coming to my university and not knowing how to do SEO and or failing at SEO and saying, Josh, help me. My business is about to get destroyed. And I said, okay, calm down, relax. Go through our hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of courses, read our hundreds of pages of knowledge, learn the SEO experiments, and they've turned their life around. They've turned their business around. They've gone from junior SEO to SEO lead to chief marketing officer to CEO to hiring more people and putting them back in my course. That has happened to multiple people in my university, right? So so you can't just go with the current stuff, that the low level stuff. If it's too quick and too easy, usually that means it's terrible. The only exception is my tool. Of course, Josh would say that. Of course, the only exception is his tool. But right now it doesn't produce all the content. Right now it does all the testing for you, and you kind of have to produce the content yourself. Very soon we've constructed an AI that works like an AI consultant, and it talks to other AIs and it looks, is it helpful? Yeah, let's check. Is it helpful? No, not helpful. Okay, rewrite it. Is it helpful now? No, not helpful. Rewrite it. Okay, now it's helpful. Okay, does it have quality? No, it doesn't show quality. Okay, now this. Does it show experience and expertise? No, not yet. Okay, do this. And the AI is thinking. It's going back and forth like an actual, like how you think AI should work. It's thinking like a person. And it will write your article, and then it's like, okay, let's check all the keywords. Let's check the rank brain keywords, do that model, do the BERT, the bidirectional encoder representation for transformer model. Okay, let's do the neural matching model. Okay, look at score all these. We have a unique and proprietary scoring system that nobody else uses, which mimics the scoring system Google uses for all of the artificial intelligences. And it rates all of the keywords and phrases and puts them in there in the proper frequencies. Also, we know about over-optimization. None of the other tools know about over-optimization. Does anyone talk about over-optimization these days? Not a lot of people, right? So we know that there is over-optimization penalties out there because Google has machine learned everything. Google has machine learned all the HTML. Google's machine learned the DOM that comes out of it. Google's machine learned the images by actually reading images with Vision AI. Google's machine learned all the knowledge panel entities in the knowledge graph. We've studied all of this, right? Google's machine learned all the keywords from all the different AIs in all the different tags with all the different attributes. Just think of the variance there. That is billions and billions and billions of different ways you could do it. And every niche is different. That's how they know whether it's an e-commerce niche or a review blog style niche, is because they've machine learned every page and they know down to the genetic level, they know down to the HTML, what that page should have and what it shouldn't. And if you go out of that variance, you will be demoted. You will not rank very well. And you'll go up to, does this sound familiar, Prince? You're like on page 2, then you're on page 1, then you're on page 2, then you're on page 1, then you go up to 4, then you go down to 6, then you go to 8, then you go to 4 again, and then you go back to 6, and then suddenly, boom, they do an update, and you're gone. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Yeah. That's because you were always on the cusp of not quite having 1 or 2 or 3 of the machine learned things I just talked about. You were close to the variance, and they also have something called query deserves diversity. And so they tried you a couple times to see, hey, maybe you should be the variance. Maybe you should be the thing, right? And they have exceptions to the rule because they're trying to be fair. So they're like, okay, maybe this SERP. Did you ever notice in a SERP how they'll have a bunch of type of pages which are all identical? They're all review style pages, but one of them is an e-commerce page. Or they're all e-commerce pages, but one of them is a top 5 tips page. That's because they have query deserves diversity, QDD. And they put that up there to see, oh, maybe we need something different because users want a different kind of aspect of the information. We know how to take advantage of that. No one even talks about this anymore. We know how to take advantage of that. And that's built into Keyword Spy. So you have to be really careful about these AI tools that are not actually building quality content. You need to learn how to build quality out of AI. You need to go to Underground SEO University, and when you join Underground SEO University, you'll learn how to build quality out of it. And or when you try Keyword Spy for free for 2 weeks, by the way, you can see how we put quality into these pages, and you can learn a lot about how to do the SEO. And do not just think, oh, I'll fire up ChatGPT and it'll do all my writing for me. Only if you want to waste your time and not rank. And I hate seeing people fail. All my students, most of them succeed. Right? I'm not going to lie and say everyone succeeds. Everyone in SEO lies. None of my clients have ever been demoted. Bullcrap. Plenty of my clients have been demoted. Okay. That's happened a lot. All right. But so I'm the only guy who's going to tell you the truth. I am the only guy who's going to tell you the truth. But I can honestly say the majority of my students rank, 70% of my students rank 70% of the time, right? They have a really good track record. And in Keyword Spy, we're around 80 or 90% right now. So, because I track all this, so that's how I know we're doing well. So, yeah, you can. Does anyone else talk about this? Does anyone else admit this? Certainly not. You'll get testimonials that may even be made up from 5 years ago when they tried one page and it ranked really well, and they give you 3 different graphs of it, and that's their proof. That's not proof, right? You need to get serious about SEO if you want to keep working in this industry. You need to join SEO University. You need to get on the next generation AI tools. And you cannot, because the quality is the only thing Google wants, and you cannot skimp on the quality.
Perfect, perfect. You have given valuable advices today. Any last piece of advice that you would like to give to digital marketers in terms of preparing themselves for the future?
Yeah. Get in on AI now. Get in on AI now. If you want to try Keyword Spy, try keywordspy.com for free for 2 weeks, go for it. If you don't want to use that, fine, that's fine too. But don't just go with what ChatGPT gives you. You have to learn prompt engineering. You have to learn the next generation stuff. Don't just think because somebody put a Chrome extension together with ChatGPT that there's some magic in it. There's not. You need to learn how this stuff works so you can reverse engineer it and tell whether it's any good. AI PRM, I'm sorry, by Chris Kemper. I've reviewed all their prompts. I'm sorry, they suck. They're terrible. It is the worst snake oil I have seen in a long, long time. So I'm sorry. Do not just think, oh, I downloaded a batch of 10 prompts that are supposed to dominate SEO. Now I'm going to do SEO for a living. That is not going to work. You need to learn prompt engineering. You need to learn how it works. You need to join some private group that's going to have this information for you. You need to learn it yourself. If you don't know anything about image generation, you need to learn Midjourney as well. Midjourney is the best image generator AI out there by far. By far, you can produce photorealistic, gorgeous, beautiful images in Midjourney. So I would learn Midjourney and they're going to be doing text to video very soon as well, and it will be the best text to video. I'm going to put my name on that bet right now. I'm betting all your listeners right now and yourself, Prince, that when Midjourney comes out with text to video, it's going to be the best text to video that there is for sure, because they're just using the basis of video is nothing but a bunch of images, and so they're using the basis of all their images. That'll be the basis of the video, and the images they produce are just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. So Midjourney is going to have the best text to video. It already has the best text to images. The best text to text is ChatGPT, hands down, GPT-4. You've got to learn how that works. You've got to learn the prompt engineering for that. And so that's what I would recommend coming up for the future. It's going to be all AI based. And the consequence of using these tools is the right ones is you're going to succeed and you're going to have a happy life and you're going to be doing very well and making money. The consequence of using the wrong tools is sadly, and it's going to be a downer, and I apologize, but sadly, if you use the wrong tools, you're going to fail. It's not going to work. And you're going to be heartbroken. And I'll be heartbroken too, because I've seen it happen to too many people. And so SEO is hard. SEO is hard. It's taken a lot of intelligence to build this stuff in. It takes a lot of intelligence to figure out how it works. If anyone tells you SEO if anyone tells you that SEO is going to be easy and that anyone can do it and just go into ChatGPT and fire it off, don't listen to them, because that's definitely not true.
Got it. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of today's episode. It was pleasure having you, Josh, with us and sharing your experience. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to have you again on our show.
Thanks, Prince. It was super great to be here.